These are these things where, first of all, I was in a situation, we do what we call the dog and pony.
Right.
We're out doing the dog and pony selling a picture, and you get sometimes you get what you feel is slightly ambushed by somebody who's really got an agenda, and that's sort of, I think, that's my opinion of what happened to me the other day. The last thing I like to watch is entertainers or actors get political. It's just something I can't stand.
Kurt Russell's bold take on woke culture and gun control. Kurt Russell is not your typical Hollywood star. In a landscape where celebrities often feel compelled to voice political opinions, Russell stands out by cutting through the noise with blunt honesty. His recent remarks on woke culture, gun control, and civil discourse reveal a refreshing perspective that challenges the status quo. Let's dive deeper into his thoughts and explore the insights he offers on these pressing issues and the dangers of political celebrity.
I think that if you think gun control or something like that is going to change a terrorist point of view, I think you're like out of your mind. I think I think anybody is. I think it's absolutely insane. The problem we're having right now is that we don't have the concepts of how to turn it around and say, you may think you've got me worried about what you're going to do. Dude, you're about to find out what I'm going to do.
Russell begins by addressing a common sentiment among many: the discomfort of celebrities entering the political arena. He shares a personal experience of being caught off guard during a press event, feeling ambushed by someone with an agenda. This reaction resonates with those who believe that entertainers should focus on their craft rather than thrusting political opinions upon their audiences. The last thing I like to watch is entertainers or actors get political, he states, emphasizing that just because someone has a platform doesn't mean they should use it for every cause. This perspective is a breath of fresh air in an age where celebrity endorsement often overshadows genuine discourse. Gun control, a misguided approach? When the conversation shifts to gun control, Russell doesn't hold back. He argues that the notion of gun control as a solution to terrorism is fundamentally flawed. If you think that gun control or something like that is going to change a terrorist point of view, I think you're out of your mind. He asserts, Russell's argument is clear: terrorists are not deterred by laws, and the belief that regulations can stop them is a dangerous misconception. He believes it's time for a mindset shift. Instead of worrying about what terrorists might do, we should focus on making them fear our response. This call to action serves as a wake-up call, urging society to take threats seriously and to stop coddling the issue. The no-fly list and gun access. Russell takes the discussion further by addressing the argument that individuals on the no-fly list should be barred from acquiring firearms. He acknowledges the concern but highlights the reality that if someone is intent on causing harm, they can find alternative means. The guys who are on the no-fly list can get a gun pretty easily, he points out, emphasizing that evil will always find a way to manifest. They can also make a bomb pretty easily. They can get knives and stab you. What are you going to do about that? Russell's practical outlook challenges conventional wisdom surrounding gun control. He argues that simply banning one tool doesn't address the underlying problem of evil intent. Instead, we should focus on broader solutions that tackle the root causes of violence. The importance of the Second Amendment. At the core of this debate lies the Second Amendment, which Russell defends passionately. He believes the Founding Fathers had a solid reason for its inclusion in the Constitution. No government ever hasn't had to fight its own people, he argues, referencing historical events like the Civil War. For Russell, the right to bear arms is not about promoting violence, it's about safeguarding freedom. Without the Second Amendment, Americans during the Civil War wouldn't have had the chance to defend their way of life, he explains. This historical context underscores the importance of understanding the Second Amendment not just as a legal clause, but as a vital component of American identity and history.
I got bored with myself in a take one day on Death Proof. I'm reading this soliloquy of some kind to this girl. I started feeling like doing it like John Wayne, sort of a bad John Wayne. And in my book, that's no good. I figured he was just going to start, all right, got it, shut up. I can't take it. I said, yeah, that's the way I was hoping. And he said, okay, great, now that's it, stay right there and go back to the beginning. And I did the whole thing like that. Then he said, now just take the first third of it. And there said, if we're out of film, he said, throw some film in the camera. And it's like, that's sort of what it's like working with him. And so this character, John Ruth, sort of had some of that to him. In the reading, I had done some of that. Then when it came time to do it, he said, okay, now drop that and just do your thing.
Fostering civil discourse. While Russell is clear about his beliefs, he also laments the deterioration of civil discourse in contemporary society. I think it's too bad that the debate can't remain kind of civil, he reflects. In a world where conversations about sensitive topics often devolve into shouting matches, Russell advocates for respectful debate. If we can't talk about these issues without it turning into a brawl, how are we ever going to find real solutions, he asks. This sentiment resonates with many who feel frustrated by the lack of productive dialogue on complex issues like terrorism and gun control. Standing your ground. Russell's approach is clear. Standing your ground is essential. You stand your ground and you make it clear that certain behaviors won't be tolerated, he states firmly. His no-nonsense attitude encourages individuals to be assertive in their beliefs without succumbing to pressure or fear. What goodwill that, oh my God, you and I just disagree, he adds, highlighting the importance of accepting differing opinions. His stance is simple yet powerful. If you believe you can control the behavior of those intent on causing harm, you're kidding yourself.
In reality, when we're dealing with things like terrorism and whatnot, we're all going to have different opinions on how to do it and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Mine happens to be that I think there's a very strong reason founding fathers had for the Second Amendment, and that is that no government ever hasn't had to fight its own people, and its own people hasn't had to fight its own government.
A call for common sense. Kurt Russell's perspective on woke culture, gun control, and civil discourse is a refreshing take in a world often filled with noise and division. He advocates for common sense solutions that prioritize freedom and safety, while encouraging respectful dialogue. If you're tired of the same old talking points and are ready for more straightforward takes, Russell's insights are a must-hear. His approach challenges us to think critically about the issues at hand and to engage in meaningful conversations that can lead to real solutions. Join the conversation. As we navigate these complex topics, it's essential to continue the conversation. Do you agree with Kurt Russell's stance on gun control and the importance of civil discourse? Or do you think we've gone too far in our approach to these issues? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the dialogue going. In a time when clarity and honesty are needed more than ever, Russell's voice is a reminder of the importance of standing firm in our beliefs while engaging respectfully with others.